Hello, welcome to Trust in Tarot's The Suit of Cups tutorial. And we're starting out with the Ace of Cups, of course. The Ace of Cups is emotions. All the cups are emotions. It's matters of the heart. It's things that you care about. As you can see, the Ace is overflowing with water into a calm pool. So it's a very emotional, heartfelt card. It's very calm, but it's overflowing with love and emotion. So it's a new beginning. It's new friendships and new beginnings. It's love and happiness and joy. As you can see, the dove at the top of the cup indicates joy and happiness. Certain cards, if it was with certain cards in a reading, it would indicate new beginnings, such as pregnancies and new relationships and celebrations. The Ace of Cups reversed is exactly the opposite of the Ace of Cups upright. There's a sadness here. The love and the joy is blocked. There's pain. There's unrequited love. There's repressed emotions. And infertility, if other cards are indicating it as well, could also indicate miscarriages, because it's the opposite of the beginnings of a new relationship. So it's been blocked, or there's a problem with it. It's stopped for some reason. The Two of Cups. The Two of Cups represents friendships of a close nature. It's not necessarily lovers. They could be friends, really close friends. It could be friendships between a mother and a daughter. It could be best friends, a father and a daughter. It's non-gender, but it's new. It's partnerships and unity. There's a compatibility between these two people. It's a happy couple. Potential soulmates. Also, as you can see, there's rolling hills in the background. They're both enjoying the same cup. They're offering each other a cup, which is a friendship. There's harmony and balance. There's equality in this card. There's attraction to each other and a connection. There's deep emotional connection in this card. It could, if other cards indicate, it could also be marriages and engagements or proposals, if other cards would indicate that. The Two of Cups reversed is exactly the opposite of the upright, meaning there is a disconnect. There's a disagreement. There's disharmony between the couple. There's an inequality going on here, or an incompatibility. They're unhappy couple. There's a problem. There's something that's blocking the happiness of the card. Very simple. The Three of Cups is a celebration of emotions. It's people in a merriment setting. They're happy. They're dancing. They're celebrating. There's reunions. Could be parties, festivities, and gatherings of people that are very happy to be where they are. It could be an engagement party if other cards indicate that. Could be baby shower and happy times. The Three of Cups is exactly the opposite of the upright, meaning there's a tendency to overindulge. There could be some gossiping. Maybe there's a gathering where there's gossiping going on, or it could be a lack of a social life. But whatever it is, there's no merriment involved here. There's a blockage. The Four of Cups. The Four of Cups, if you look at the card, look at it for face value. You see a person sitting against a tree. They're being offered a cup of emotion, a cup of love. And they have their arms folded. Look at the body language. They don't want to accept that offer. So they're focusing on the negativity instead of the positive. So there's a disillusionment going on here. This person can be bored. They could be depressed. They're weary or frustrated. Whatever it is that they want, they can't see the cup being offered and the cups that are still standing in front of him, because they are pouting, so to speak. They're not getting what they want, so they're going to pout. That's what this card is to me. Very simple card. They look like they're pouting. The Four of Cups reversed is a card of seizing opportunities that pass, that the universe opens up for you. So if it was upright, you're not looking at the opportunities in front of you, but reversed, you're seizing those opportunities. You're letting go of regret. You're not bored anymore. There's no stagnation. It's an end of stagnation, and it's a motivating period. So there's enthusiasm here. Five of Cups. Look at this card. The person is staring down at 3 spilled cups. They're upset. They're not looking behind them and seeing that they still have 2 cups that are standing. So they're not appreciating what they have. They're being upset and disappointed, and they're in despair over what they don't have. There's a sadness here. It could be some kind of trauma, but whatever it is, they're turning their back on other things in their lives that are still standing for them. They're not looking at what they have. They're mourning something. There's some sort of heartache here. So there's a negative feeling of emotions here. Maybe even an isolation or loneliness. They look very lonely and very upset, and a lot of regret in this picture. The water is still flowing in front of them, as you can see through the overhead bridge. So the water's still moving. Life is still going on, but they aren't participating. They're not participating in what's going on, and they're upset and they pulled back. The 5 of Cups reversed is a feeling of moving past the regret, moving past the isolation, and moving on and forward and accepting possible help. There's a healing going on here, or a forgiveness. So they're starting to appreciate what they have, and they're enjoying and rejoicing about the world about them, because now they're appreciating that love and emotion that is still standing. They're very happy. So it's exactly the opposite of the 5 of Cups upright. The 6 of Cups, if you look at the card, you see 2 children playing in a field. They have cups. All their cups are filled with flowers that are blooming. So there's this childlike innocence with this card. So it would indicate childhood memories, past influences, could be nostalgia or reunions with people from your past. There's a playfulness about the card, a youthfulness, some sort of innocence here. A creativity, possibly. There's kindness of offering the cup to another individual. So there's sharing of gifts. There's a charity here. It may even be a family-oriented support going on in here with the card. The 6 of Cups reversed is letting go of the past. It's letting go of that connection that binds you to the past, and it's starting to let you focus on the future. So there's a feeling of having to let go of the past, or maybe even growing up or leaving home for the first time. It's a growth and maturity this card represents in reverse. The 7 of Cups, if you look at the card, there's a lot going on in this card. There's a lot of options. Each cup represents a different option. So there's a lot of options here and choices, which could cause confusion. If you see the man in the picture, it's a dark figure. They don't have a face. They're not doing anything in particular. So that is a confusion. That's not being able to make a choice, because it's a dark figure. There's no personality in that person in the card. The personality goes with all the cups and the choices that are there. There's multiple possibilities and opportunities and picking and choosing on this card. That also could indicate illusions and wishful thinking, imaginations, possibly even hallucinating, or meditation, to meditate on the choices. The 7 of Cups reversed is opposite of the upright. There's a clarity here. There's a reality of the choice. There's a clear choice to make. It could even be sobriety. A lack of a choice also, if it's reversed. Or a lack of opportunities, or a lack of options, because the card is in the reverse manner. The 8 of Cups, upright, is a feeling of walking away. If you look at the card, you see all the cups are upright. They're stacked all nice and neat, but that doesn't matter to this person in the card. They're just going to walk away. They're walking away. They've crossed the river, or whichever it is, the water between the cups and them. They've crossed it. So they've made an active choice to move forward. So they may be abandoning plans, walking away, or letting go. They could decide to go travel. There's an escapism feeling here where they've just turned their back and they're just going to keep walking. Or maybe they've reached their limit. There's possibly a self-analysis here. They might be looking for a deeper connection. They're withdrawing. There's a disappointment here because they're not appreciative of the 8 cups that are standing all beautiful on the other side of the shore. They've decided to take another journey and keep walking, turn their back and move forward, regardless of the emotional connection. The Eight of Cups reversed is exactly the opposite. There's a fear of moving on. There's no immediate decision like in the upright card, but in the reverse, there's a fear of moving on, a fear of going forward. There's this stagnation feeling or a fear of accepting change or accepting where you are, what your lot in life is, or what the situation is. It's a fear of accepting the situation the way it appears. And as you can see, there's the sun and the moon in the card, and they're both showing. So what that means is there's something being offered that's brought to light, but in the moon, with the moon around it, there is some shadow and cloudiness around it. So that's the feeling of stagnation and feeling disheartened by the situation and moving forward. The Nine of Cups upright, well, they like to call this card the wish come true card or wishes card, because this person is sitting in front of 9 beautiful upright cups that's motions, but there's something lacking. What's lacking is the 10th cup. So they're wishing. This is the fulfillment of wishes for that 10th cup. So they're realizing they're trying to manifest their dreams into happiness and cheerfulness. That they're happy with the 9 cups, but they still have that unsatisfied feeling of they don't have that 10th cup, but they're still very happy about their position in life, and they're sitting there look at the body language. They're very happy with what's behind them, and they're proud of it. So they're feeling like there's an achievement here, a prosperity of sorts. You know, they're feeling like there's a reward. Even high self-esteem indicates this card. Is indicated by this card. The Nine of Cups reversed is exactly the opposite of it upright. There's shattered dreams here, especially if this card is connected to the Nine of Swords or the Nine of Swords reversed, because then you have, things that wake you up at night but are attached to this Nine of Cups in reverse, which are shattered dreams and nightmares, unhappiness. There's a feeling of devastation. There's this lack of fulfillment when it's reversed, when the Nine of Cups is reversed. The 10 of Cups is exactly what the picture looks like. It's a very happy family. They've got what they need. They have their home. They're happy families. Could be reunions and homecomings. It's family gatherings. Could be long-term relationships. There's a stability and a security to this card. There's harmony and abundance. There's domestic bliss. The 10 of Cups reversed is exactly the opposite of the upright meaning. Instead of being a happy family and everything's wonderful, it's possibly a dysfunctional family, unhappy home life, a broken home. There could be a lack of security and a lack of stability going on here. It could be domestic violence. There could be just a disharmony and a disconnect for those that live with you and around you in your emotional connections. The Page of Cups is a couple things. The cups are emotions, of course. Now, the pages represent communication, so there may be a possible emotional communication coming your way. Could be by letter, phone call, email, you name it, whatever media people convey their messages by. Or it could be a young person, very emotional person. Somebody's very kind. There's a lot of comfort and love in this person. They're very sensitive and thoughtful, if it is a person. They could be quiet. They could also be psychic. They could have psychic abilities because they're definitely emotional. They feel with everything around them. Like if it's a youth, like I say, it's a young person. They've either got light to sandy colored hair, light eyes, either blue or green or hazel. If it represents an individual, they're usually younger, like teenagers. There is a feeling of emotion. There's the water behind them. You see how it's rippled. So it's kind of like they're kind of fickle in a way. They're kind of up and down, and they're trying to get a hold of their emotions. The Page of Cups reversed indicates childhood issues. There could be sexual abuse, bad news here. There could be some broken dreams and broken hearts. someone who doesn't plan for the next day, doesn't plan for tomorrow, somebody who just willy-nilly goes about, throwing their emotions around and not really getting a handle on things. The Knight of Cups, if you look at the card, you see a beautiful horse. He's sort of prancing. He's on a mission. He's prancing. The knight on the horse is offering a cup. So there's an offer of love. Somebody's trying to give you love, trying to give you emotion, trying to give you a cup. So it could be romantic proposals, offers, could be dating. Somebody you've wanted to date is now interested in dating you. Could be invitations. Somebody who's taking action with that emotion. They're following their heart. There's an attraction there. It could be your ideal man or woman or both. It's a amicable connection. There is a feeling of new ideas and new proposals with this offer. The Knight of Cups reverse is exactly the opposite. It can be unrequited love, disillusionment. They could be escaping. They may even be lying to you or themselves. Someone who has a fragile sense of identity and has poor personal boundaries. The Queen of Cups, if it's a person, it's someone who has light to sandy colored hair, light eyes, green, hazel, blue. It's usually, if it's a woman, which it can be either or, doesn't have to be gender oriented. Tarot is not gender oriented. But if it is a person, they are between the ages of, say, 25 and 60. It's a mature individual. It may not even be their age. It's their character and their personality that you will recognize them by. But it's also a choice based on sincere feelings, because the Queen of Cups is very sincere in what she does. She's very emotional. She doesn't fabricate anything. You can really rely on the emotions given out by the Queen of Cups. There's a deep feeling here. If it's your mother, it could be your mother, it could be a grandmother, a mother substitute. But they play a significant role in your life when this card comes up. The Queen of Cups reversed indicates fickleness. They really don't know what they want or how to say what they want. There's vanity here. There's a gullibility here. It could also be somebody who sacrifices themselves for others unnecessarily. They just keep putting themselves out there, and it's never appreciated. The King of Cups, as you see, sits on his throne. He's very sturdy. He's actually floating in a river where he would wobble typically, but because he's such a strong figure, he has control over his balance. He's very balanced. He's very trustworthy. He has a wealth of knowledge to share. He's very caring. He's sort of like, he's a father, definitely a father figure, but somebody who listens to what you have to say. Someone who understands the subconscious motivations of people. A man who is in touch with his emotional life and his emotional feelings and his inner child. This is a good friend, and if it's if it represents a person in your life, they're mature and they're emotionally stable. But like I said, they're not always male or female gender oriented. This is the character of this person. Okay, you will recognize them by that character. Doesn't have to be a man. The King of Cups reverse is exactly the opposite of his upright counterpart. He gives bad advice. He schemes. He takes advantage of people. He's a fraud. He could be an alcoholic or a drug addict. He's somebody who only looks out for himself. So he's going to tell you what he thinks you want to hear. Thank you for coming and listening to the very simple explanation of the cups. Please have a look out for the pentacles and the swords. Stay safe, be kind, and always trust in tarot.